Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Soundboard. It's officially been roughly about 5 months since we've done this, so welcome back to the podcast. Jade Spina, what's up?
Shit, I hope we're not rusty.
Yeah,
I hope we still got it.
We caught up last week after Melbourne Cup. We were both a little bit blind.
Yeah, no, we had a bit of a crack.
Yeah, we're
and then we had a sober lunch as well, so that was
good.
That was good. We've had a bit of a mix.
Yeah,
but yeah, lockdown. It's been a minute.
So what's been happening with you? A lot's been happening. Do you want to start from the top?
Yeah, a lot's been happening. So the last time we did Soundboard, I was director, co-founder, CMO of Valuation, and now I've resigned and my shares are up for sale. So it's been like a full 180.
What made you come to the resignation?
Okay, so to be completely honest, and like obviously have to be mindful of the fact that like things are still in motion at the moment, and I respect my ex-wife a lot and whatnot. But so basically it's been in motion for about 18 months, 12 to 18 months. And it's one of those things like when you know, and I had the inkling. I was getting a little bit, see the thing is with my team up there, everyone's really young and we just rode everything really quickly. Like we grew quickly, we knew exactly what we were doing, and I just kind of got to a point where like the growth for me just kind of stunted, and I felt a little bit bored, felt a bit dry, and I just felt a bit repetitive, and I started getting wandering eyes. Like imagine being in a marriage and looking left and right at other people, you're like, fuck, something's wrong with the marriage, you know? Yeah. So I was starting to think of other business ideas. I was getting really enticed by like other partnerships and like investment opportunities. And I thought, I've really got to look at my bread and butter and just, is my heart still in it?
So first time we sort of hung out, and then we used to have chats upstairs in your office and talk about ideas. You were sort of toying.
I had one,
and we kind of just started like talking and being friends. Then you were saying very early on, you're like, I want to try and do something else.
Yeah. So I'd actually wireframed in lockdown last year. I'd wireframed a fitness app, and if I'm honest with myself, like I was very passionate about nutrition when I built Valuation, and then I very quickly kind of started to find a passion in fitness. Like I just think movement is just like the cornerstone of health. And I still think, don't get me wrong, there's a huge place for diet, but I just think the way that people engage with fitness at whatever level is proportionate to like their fitness level, like whether that be just like a daily walk or whether it be an intense session. I just think fitness is just really like just the bread and butter of how people operate. Like I really think it's central.
What was one moment you knew that you wanted to try something new? Was it a collection of things, or was it just like bang, I'm out?
It's when I started to wireframe the We Trained app, and I was like, my heart was racing. It was like I just got the butterflies again and the flutters, and I was like, yeah, this is what it's meant to feel like. And then in reality, and you'll understand this, a startup and a scale up are two completely different phases of a business. And
what part do you like better?
I'm a trenches girl. I love loves a startup. You know, I love a project, don't I? So for me, it was like I wasn't getting my hands dirty anymore. It was just everything was coming so easy, and that's a credit to the business that we built. Like it is structurally, it works without even kind of like
that's kind of what you want to do, doesn't it?
Yeah. But then I just kind of had to be honest with myself. Like, is that fair to Amal? Is that fair to the future of Valuation? And then there also became there was some conversations around like reinvesting into Valuation and the tech. And that's when I was just like, nah, like we've spent a couple of $1 million on this app, and you've got to really have a love and a belief to go and throw throw more money into it. I didn't have it. So I just had to make the really tough decision. And it's been like a marriage breakup.
Has it? What's been the hardest part about it?
Well, obviously it's a great business, and financially we're a sound couple. So the split has been quite difficult as well. But even just you get so reflective, funny enough. Like I wanted to be emotionless, and I just wanted to be a businesswoman about it and just say, you know, the time is over, the chapter's closed, and just move on. But you get really reflective. Like everything comes back to you. The day one, the year one, like the memories, like it's just – a bloody iPhone doesn't help. That shoots up memories like there's no tomorrow. Hey, you're like,
that's crazy.
1 minute you're having a bit of like, I miss the team moment, and then all of a sudden a couple shot of you and Amal comes up.
So they say before you die, your life flashes before your eyes, before you resign.
Literally,
is that like the business version of it?
It does. And then also too, like I think going into a second business, like the second time round, you kind of know what's ahead of you. It's like, okay, think about it like this. If you do like a 10K run or something like that, and you don't know how bloody hard it's going to be, you kind of do the first time a little bit easier, but when you know the hill's coming or the something else is coming, you kind of have a bit more head noise than the first time round where you got like you don't know what's ahead.
It's kind of like at the start, ignorance is bliss. When I look back on our journey as well, I'm like, fuck, I'm glad I didn't know fuck all.
I know.
Or else I'd have been like, it's gonna be hard.
And also like you've got youth on your side. You're young. You're just fearless.
You've got nothing else to lose.
Nothing to lose. So going into this the second time round, like, I know how much tech costs. I know when they say it's going to take 4 months to build, it's going to be 8. Like I know what building a team looks like. I love the thought of it. I love that that's ahead of me, but I also am like aware now, whereas I was ignorant before. So that's also like, that's a hard pill to swallow, but it's exciting.
What's next?
So I actually, so this time last year I wireframed a fitness app. So essentially it's almost like a bit of an Evolution but for training. So you sort of select your intentions and then it spits out a training plan that suits whatever you're after, and then second to that as well, it's got like a social share element too, which does like capitalize on the brand awareness piece, and it's a business management tool for trainers and gyms too. So it's got like a B2B element and a B2C element.
How far off are you from launching that?
So far. Basically, the position that I'm in at the moment is like you can't remarry without getting divorced.
Yep.
And I've still got director obligations at Evolution, as I've resigned as an employee, but I'm still a director. And the deal hasn't been done yet to acquire my founder's shares either, because I'm letting go of them.
Yeah, you got Valuation as well. How was that? I know, like
we got drunk that night, so obviously shit was looking good.
It was a great valuation. It's exciting to see like a close friend go through that as well.
Yeah,
because potentially it's something that we can go through later in life. But obviously we're celebrating on the night, but it wasn't the couple of weeks before were quite stressful.
Yeah, I was really stressed, and like the outcome of the whole evaluation piece, which we've spoken about. I was sort of happy in a way that like the amount wasn't outrageous. Like some tech companies sell for like $50 million and like to pocket 25 mil is like, it's a big whoop, right? But the amount that I think I'm looking at is I'm just a girl from NI, so that it's obviously like overwhelming. But second to that as well, it's going to leave enough room for me to still be hungry. Like I'm not going to sit on my laurel. It's it's comfort zone. It's kind of
You text me about the valuation and I go, oh, that's mad, and I go, I feel like you could do more, like straight away.
Yeah, straight away.
Even though it is a lot of money and it is life changing, potentially you could look after your family, never have to work again. But I see you do more. Yeah,
I think so too. And even just like the way that I kind of went like semi-stale towards the end of my my time at Evolution, just mentally, like energetically, I had so much more juice in the tank, and my day-to-day job was just not even touching the sides. Like I was just so like uninspired, and that's nothing against Evolution because it's my child, like I adore it, but it was more so just like I was hungry. I was still so hungry. So money's in the back pocket, but that drive's not gone. Like it's still there, and even to this day. So in the interim, I've been doing like a fair bit of consulting. So I'm working one-on-one with businesses, and that's a strength. Like it's been a massive strength for me just to be able to dive into companies and like know that you still got it, and you can like you can turn the ship around and stuff like that. That's been a really good confidence booster.
And we say this a lot when we have like lunches and dinners. We kind of take what we've done for granted, like some of the basics things that we say. People paying consulting money for it.
Yeah, exactly. Because I feel like with consulting, it's like twofold, right? Some people want to know exactly what to do. Like I have businesses that are launching and they genuinely don't know where to start. So you kind of hold their hand and walk them through step by step. So they don't have the knowledge of what's next. But then second to that, they also don't have the confidence to like dive into a decision either. Yeah. So I feel like that's where the benefit of consulting comes in. It's like not only that person that can guide you and say this will work, but second to that, it's like a bit of confidence, like, okay, someone else has done it. Yeah, done it, and they're guiding the way sort of thing.
And you can also say that this won't work, but here's a solution for that as well. Is that common conversations you're having?
Yeah, because like there's so many ways to skin a cat, right? Like you can, I'm sure if you had your time over, there'd be like 1,000,001 things that you do differently, or
you could build it twice as quick if you knew what
exactly.
You
well, that's what I'm sort of thinking even with the next venture as well. Like, some people have said, oh, you got 8 years ahead of you to go again. And I'm like, no, actually probably like 3, Yeah. Like we can halve that because, there was some stupidity along the way. But, Amal and I have had some really like cool moments in the last a couple of weeks now that the like dust has settled sort of thing, where we've just gone, fuck, it was cool. Like, it was a good experience.
Some married couples have a divorce party. Do you reckon you?
Look, we're not partying yet together, but like we're getting close. I have a lot of like love for her that will just never go away.
Yeah. And you've built something.
We've built something amazing together. And even now we're getting like a lot of press with the close of FY21 as well. So we're getting like a lot of things where we're positioned together as, two best friends. That's the story's stunning. Like it's a good story, So we'll always share that. And so my best girlfriend is actually, so I showed her We Trained during lockdown, and we actually, so I don't know if do you remember when I went sober during lockdown? So I had 5 months off the drink. Like, this is when I had to make some like tough choices and everything. And I thought, you just got to, this one way through this. And that's just like with full clarity, you need to have it. Sober. Anyway, there's no band-aiding, Jade. Anyway, so I like didn't touch a drop of alcohol, got like super like fit, healthy, whatever. And then one day my girlfriend and I, who I train with, Liv, we did this like killer session. Then we got back to my place. It was sunny. You know what that coochie pad's like.
Yeah.
Sitting on the balcony, life's looking good. She's like, do you want to have a wine? And I was like, oh, this will be my first wine. Anyway, we had a couple of wines and I was like, I've got to show you next chapter. Anyway, I showed her We Trained and she's like, I'll quit my job. I will quit my job. Let's do it together. And I was like, done. Like, she is literally the yin to my yang. Like,
if you haven't tried to start a business with your best mate, they're not your best mates.
Yeah, exactly. And you know how we always say it's no fun alone. Like,
no way.
It's no fun alone. And like, to be honest with you, I look at like all the dollar figures in Equolution now and the amounts and the valuations and stuff, and I think it'd be really nice if we didn't have to cut that in half.
Yeah.
And I could just pocket all of it. But overall, like, it's an experience. Like, and I would not change anything about my previous experience going into business with a best friend. So round two, baby.
A lot of the like more successful business people I've hung around, they're like, oh, we ever try and buy like Chico and Corey out because like you're doing all the work.
Yeah.
Nah, probably not, eh? Like, I'd rather try and start something else on my own and try and build that up. But we're benefiting from all the skill set anyway. Yeah,
well, I've always said to you, your dynamic's like pretty cool. See, Amal and I are two really strong characters. So throughout our business journey, there was times, she's a lot more assertive than I am. So there was times where I was just like, you do you, boo. Like, I kind of let her take the driver's seat, and it kind of suited us at the time. But if you have two drivers, like, and no passengers, just shit can hit the fan. So you need
me the wheel.
Yeah, literally.
Let's pull over here.
Yeah. I'll be a bit smarter with the equity split this time, like, and I'm funding it. So, things will look a little bit different, like,
of course.
Yeah, on paper, but I'm ready to share the experience again.
I learned that with, we had a brand called Tech Projects, very similar to clothing, a little bit cooler in my opinion, but failed. But I transferred the equity over to YKTR Sports.
Yeah.
And I own most of YKTR Sports.
Yeah. It's just having your hand on the wheel is just like it's quite a powerful thing, especially when you've got a vision and you've got a roadmap. So I think like going forward, like I do really have a vision for We Trained. So I can take the driver's seat, but I need that complementary other half. That's her. She's numbers gal. I'm the other half, the creative.
The dreamer.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go this way, everyone.
Let's go. Yeah.
Hey guys, what's up? This podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped's lined up with the whole team here at YKTR and YKTR Sports. But I want you guys to get around my discount code. My discount code is ICE, a lot shorter than all the other boys, but they've just launched the Lawnmower 4.0, so you don't want to be ducking down to the beach with the pubes hanging out, looking like Mellow just over there. Bit of YKTR, bit of shaved pubes, you're good to go. So if you guys do want to cop a lawnmower for Christmas, 4.0, wireless, got the lights, got all the gadgets, make sure you use my code ICE at checkout, 20% off, free shipping. All right, so you do a bit of consulting. Might get some consulting?
Maybe, yeah. Well, are you still doing it?
No, I need you to consult me now.
Oh, consult you,
with management.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. We've had a few spanners in the works, haven't we?
Yeah, and we're rocking up the Jade house blind with a few friends. And
fucking. Well, it's funny. I know exactly what point in the business you're in, and this is like one thing that this place has, which Equolution had as well, is that culture factor, and it's built on the fact that everyone doesn't only have like a work friendship, but they've also got like a foundational friendship as well. So these blokes probably hang out with each other because they don't work together just as much as because they do work together. it's a blessing and a curse, right?
Yeah,
you
of course. And the thing is, and I know you're very similar to me, like we kind of fund those good times as well.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
when people come out of us, I'm like, oh yeah, fuck, I'll shout. Like, come my house, it's all on me. Like all that sort of stuff as well. But then like you create
Who's your daddy?
You're welcome here.
Yeah.
Drinks are on me, dinner's
you
on
get
me.
a table. You get a table.
Yeah, but is it the best way to do it? Or?
Oh, look, being the hero, it doesn't always make you the winner. Like I learnt that pretty quickly in Evolution. Like some of the girls that were there from day one, our day oneers are still there, and we've partied together. We've literally grown up together, because the thing is, like with Amal and I, we didn't really party or we didn't even drink alcohol before we started. Like when we started the business, so there was a couple of literally dry as a bone. Yeah. But there was a whole period of time where it was just like head down, bum up. But then once you start hiring and you get the freedom, you get your weekends back, you get a cheeky Friday night here and there, then everyone comes along to the party, you know? So the girls were part of all that, but then there had to be,
where's the line in the sand?
There's a line.
Yeah, but can you show me? I don't know whether I live in Bondi Beach.
I feel like you're starting to do it, and I think it does come with like more responsibility. You just kind of if you want to be taken seriously on the Monday to Friday 9 to 5, you've got to hold up that same persona for the after hours, like and you know me, I love a crack, and I can be a bit of a loose cannon when I want to be. And I didn't want to do that with my team, you know?
Yeah.
I've got my friends for that. And, you know, even like, the dynamic can often change. It's like you can't really walk in on a Monday morning and start pointing fingers when you've just been a loser on the weekend.
Yeah, that's true.
But then you get a bit of a grip yourself as well, because like things change. Like the frequency that, you know, you go out and stuff at some points like become lesser as you get more invested into your business as well, and you get more goal driven. Yeah. That's another thing as well. You know, it's funny because during my resignation / what's felt like retirement over the last like couple of months, I've kind of had days of like, you know, highs and lows, because it has been like a bit of an emotional roller coaster. But I think like a key element of like keeping on track and keeping focused is just keeping a schedule, keeping a routine, keeping goal driven, you know, keeping those things that are quite foundational in mind. And I feel like the same applies when you're a leader and you've got a team. Like if you're all over the shop, it flows down,
of course,
trickles down.
Still trying to figure out that balance, because obviously I do love all the boys here, and I want to hang out with them on a social, even if
they're a good time.
They
turn it on.
We don't have to force culture here. Like
no, you don't. No.
Like you look at a lot of say like firms and like, oh, everyone's going to go for a drink, and you're like, you have to do this. Like, we don't need to do that here. Which is a good, like you said, it's a blessing and a curse, isn't it? Your biggest strength's always your biggest weakness. Yeah,
it's so true. I'll tell you what, I was listening to Grouse and a Few Reds on Friday, and the boys, they were kicking stones. There was a lot of heads down. There was some reflection over those 3 days.
Yeah. So like a lot of people that didn't understand the full context, and we haven't released all the details of that, sort of thought it was an over exaggeration, which I can see.
Some people thought it was a stunt. Like it was. I had a couple of girlfriends who were like, "Oh, was that for real?" And I was like, "No, there was."
People think
I was there. It was real.
People think we fake. Someone thought I was faking COVID just for content one time.
Oh, you're kidding?
Yeah. So he goes, "I'll show me your certificate then."
You bloody social climber.
Just clout chasing. But like the lead up to that, like there was a lot of verbal warnings, and like I've shouted before, put my arm around their shoulders, it's going to be all right. But it was kind of weird just writing out like a proper formal warning. So
I know. And it's hard. It's because you form these friendships, but I think you're handling it well, because like there's a lot of responsibility and stuff that has come with like your growth, which has been quick. How did you go during lockdown? Like
just the same.
Kept going.
Yeah, it feels so much better. Obviously from a YKTR sports angle, so much better. Everyone's out because we can start doing interviews again. Yeah, like we just signed a player, which is like super. Oh yeah,
that was really exciting. Good on you.
Fun.
Yeah.
So
and unconventionally as well, wasn't the conventional contract with the old dollar figure exchange.
Pretty exciting.
Yeah, it is.
But like you said, when you were talking about your app and you want to go, oh, this got me excited. That was the first time I felt excited, probably since YKTR Sports started. Yeah. And I'm I know a lot of great things happen to us daily and weekly, and results and money and all that sort of shit. But I was like, fuck, this could actually be something different.
Yeah, well, as your vision gets bigger, your expectations and standards do too. So what floats your boat, what might have floated your boat like a couple of years ago might not get you too excited now. And that's not you being
it's just growth,
ungrateful.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that is really just growth. And if you're not wriggling, you're not a front runner. So it's a positive. It really is.
What was so we always say like problems are unique. How do you see this next little phase for us? Because we might be at a point next year where we go from 8 people to 16 people. Does that get a little bit harder once you start getting into double digits?
Yeah, it does. You know, one thing that I learned, so during my time off, I worked for Body Science, not my time off, sorry, when I was like throughout the sale period and everything like that. When I resigned, I took a 3-month contract with Body Science, and I had a lot of fun there, like in a marketing role, but I was on the other end of the stick, and I really had to swallow my pride and ego for this role, because I've always been the founder. I've always been, you know, in the driver's seat. What I say goes, and I haven't been used to a structure where to make a decision, you have to justify the decision first. Like we operated really like quite a lot on instinct, intuition, and even just our knowledge that was there. I don't even know where it came from. You just know when it's your baby, right? And I moved into a role where I was answerable to 2 great guys. They're fantastic, the founders, Greg and Nathan. I have a world of respect for them, and what they've built is incredible. But it was really challenging being the employee for the mere reason that, like, you know, I feel like you really start to empathize and understand what employees go through on a day-to-day basis. And those conversations like the "Are you okay?" and the "Are you challenged? Where's your future career prospects?" and all that kind of stuff. Where do you see yourself? They were some conversations that I maybe not necessarily had as often as I should have up there,
of course,
because you get so caught up in, you know, the top level stuff that you forget about things that operate on an employment basis, because to you, they might seem small. And I'm not saying they are small, but like sometimes when you've got a big problem, they can seem like the last thing on your checklist, but it should be up the top. It really should. That was one thing I really learned from the Body Science gig, is just like rubbing shoulders with employees and not being I was an executive, but like I wasn't a founder.
Yep.
Talking to employees and seeing how they felt and what they thought the company should do and everything. Some of the most valuable input was at that level.
Yeah.
Big time. Big time.
I read a quote the other day, and I think we talked about this, where it said like leadership's all about sameness. So like everyone, let's go together, let's go this way. Like I feel like I'm really good at that, where management's about understanding that group's individual needs that will help us get towards that. Yeah. And like I can do that, but fuck, it proper drains me, eh?
Yeah. So I just feel like, I don't think you and I have ever been the type of leaders where we've put ourselves like on this massive pedestal. Like you could go upstairs and you wouldn't really be able to tell through conversation and how we interact that Amal and I are the founders of the company. Like we've never really been on like a high hierarchy like that. But I just feel the more people you get in your company, the less inclined you are to start relating on a personal level. Like there does become a bit of a division. But like I said, I just think I think that's something, if you go to a 16-man show or something like that, that's something that there needs to be some sort of, even if it's just an office manager or something like that, just someone having those conversations and just doing the checkups, because
We've got Natasha, who's over in France at the moment. She's been with me from day dot, so she'll walk into that role when she gets back.
Yeah,
so, I think you need a balance of energies, eh?
You like really do.
Female energy is
good for us. Well, you said that before here, haven't you? Yeah.
Too much testosterone.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in this joint, isn't there? There's a lot 100%.
Happening. So, fuck, what was I just going to say?
I'm going to say how much did you miss podcasting with me?
Yeah, I did.
It was a good vibe, hey. Yeah. It's been literally 5 months. I can't believe it.
Oh, I seen you looking at NFTs last night.
I did, yeah.
I'm going to dedicate 2 hours of...
I'm going to dedicate 2 hours every day to education, and that's going to be in this space, because it's
just coming, isn't it?
It's coming, and like you'd be mad to turn a blind eye to it. Like, it's really funny when I look back on my like my business journey, right? So from the moment we quit our full-time jobs, took the one-way ticket to San Fran, went to Silicon Valley, there was so much happening in Silicon Valley at that time that is now things that we interact with on a day-to-day basis. Like Uber hadn't even come to Australia yet, and sometimes I kick myself and I'm like, were you asleep? Like I know I did like something cool, but like
everything seems obvious once it's done.
Oh my God, it was so obvious. It was like when I first showed you WeTrain. Remember you were like, this seems like this should already exist. Like, and that's what good shit is, right? It's like it hits the nail on the head. It fits a problem.
Have you seen that? What's the movie with Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson in it?
Oh, Wedding Crashers?
Nah, the other one. What's the one, Lukey? They work at Google.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it feels like sometimes.
Is it the intern? Is it the intern?
Yeah. Fuck, that's funny when they're trying to describe Instagram.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, that's what it feels like
no,
sometimes.
it does.
I feel like a fucking dinosaur.
And I feel like we're in that sort of moment like right now. I think there's a lot of people that want to be like entrepreneurs and they want to innovate, and there's so much opportunity, but there's like also a lot of fear still around that whole movement.
Yeah.
Like going out.
So obviously you've done that little thing with BSC for a bit.
Yeah.
I think I'm like you. I don't think I could work for someone else again.
It was so hard. It was really, really hard. Just for me,
just kills you
just for
inside,
me mentally, just to be just, you know, like 9 to 5, Monday to Friday as well. I was like, and it was more than that actually. I was doing like, some days I was doing like 16 hours and stuff like that. And I really loved the company. The products are sick. Like I swear by them. I think it's like an amazing company. But if you're a founder, you're a founder. I'm sorry, you can't change that, you know. And with my consulting now, it's like I get to do bits of what I'm really good at for a lot of different people on my own schedule, sort of thing. And that's what I think that allows you to flourish.
All right, last topic we're going to touch on, and people pay you consulting to ask about your lifestyle too, isn't it?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. So some people just want to know, like, I think the common thing in today's day and age when it comes to like what people picture as success is they want to have it all. Like it's sort of like they want the nice car, they want the madhouse, they want a business, and they want time. Like they want to know how you can do everything. And it's one of those things, you got to pay your dues before you get all that. But definitely you can lose it all through not having enough balance, for sure. I think it can send you like batshit.
My mum rang me last week and she's like, oh, make sure like you're still having fun. It looks like you're just working all the time. But I was like, oh, fuck, this is kind of like fun for me.
Yeah.
So like that work-life balance is really interesting conversation. It's going to be different for everyone.
Yeah.
What's it like for you?
Well, I think like, okay, take like when we went to lunch the other week, for example, like we spoke about work like a fair bit and just like sort of, I don't know, it was a brain feeding conversation. But at the same time, we were still in like, we're on our own clock. We were out somewhere where we had selected, like we weren't
not looking at prices on menus.
Yeah. You know, like, so it was kind of like, I think a lot of like quite successful people do that merge where they just take lifestyle and they take work and they make it one. Yeah, like a lot.
They say like a lot of deals are done on the golf course.
Yeah. Like a lot of people say to split that, but I think like if you enjoy coming to work and it feels almost like a lifestyle choice, then you've created a safe haven that you can fully invest yourself in and don't need, you know, a vacation from. So I think there's a bit of that combination. But look, I'm absolutely just like a sucker for morning routine, daily movement. I just think it's absolutely necessary. Like I think you can be a bit flexy with your diet, have a few beveraginos here and there, you know, bit of balance.
Just a little 2-day bender.
Yeah, a little bit of balance in that respect. But like one like non-negotiable for me is I get up and I train. Like I get up, I move. Like that's a non-negotiable, and then it sets the tone for the rest of the day for me.
I had a guy who told me when he used to play football and had like 4 or 5 kids.
Yeah.
And he goes, to get my day sorted, I just have to have half an hour to myself.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's with our like life.
It is.
People go, why do you get up so early? Like one, I'm excited to get up.
Yeah.
But 2, it gives me 2-3 hours on my own
where
I can do the things I want to be doing. And then once you get to work, you're just like, fuck, problem.
We're both pretty regimented as well. Like we need that sort of structure. Like it's like super important. But yeah, I think the daily movement thing is like a bit of a non-negotiable. But also in work-life balance as well, it's sort of just like listening to your intuition a little bit as well. Like I posted something on my Instagram last night, which actually had like a lot of people just like reach out and say, wow, that hit home. It was sort of like
that soulmate one.
No, not the soulmate.
That was deep.
It was cute. You know, I'm a love bug.
Yeah, Dawson's cute.
Yeah. But you know, so the quote that I posted, it was basically just saying like, if you conform to society's idea of success, you are never going to fulfill like your true inner happiness, and you can win a rat race, but you'll still be a rat. And that kind of, it was pretty heavy because like even when, you know, I resigned from Valuation, there was the similar comments that I got when I quit my full-time job at Google to do Valuation full-time. Like, are you sure? Are you mad? Is this a crisis?
Yeah.
You know, but you've got to go with that gut. And the same goes for work-life balance. If you're burning the candle at both ends, if you've got no fuel in the tank, restore it, you know, fill back up the cup.
All right, so how's the love life going? You cruising about, still being single?
Yeah, I'm still single.
We're still not hooking up? Is it
Yeah, we're still not hooking up, guys.
Yeah.
Although
I put up a post last week and then like fucking...
I know, we got hit home. But still single.
Stay single is the best way at the
moment. I know. Are you?
Yeah, still single.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just trying.
Getting brushed, but yeah,
Just,
it's cool.
yeah, no, that's the way it goes,
Yeah.
isn't it? No, I'm just staying in my own lane. I think if I was to take on, well, if someone was to take on me right now, they'd be like, put the seatbelt on and strap yourself in.
Yeah, get up early. We're going
I'm a
for
bit of a
ride.
loner.
Yeah,
I honestly,
I'm like that too, yeah.
I'm really just in my own little world. Like
Yeah.
I really am.
Everyone thinks we we eat dinner on our own and stuff.
Yeah, how we go to
How do you
restaurants
do
and
that?
stuff.
Yeah, it'd be weird.
How do you
I
do
love
that?
it.
I was like, I love that. That's like
No one
froth.
asking you for shit. Yeah.
It's so good.
All right, Jade. Great to have you back on. We'll
Yeah,
do this
thanks for
weekly.
having me.
So,
We
guys,
will.
we're going to be doing a Q&A next week, and we'll build structure off the back of that. So, yeah, glad
Good
you're
to
back.
be back.
Glad
It's
you're
good
back.
to be back.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you later.